Every little comment, every minor setback, if it all starts getting under your skin, you're giving away your power. The truth, the most unshakable people don't have fewer problems. They've just mastered how they respond to them. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No more overthinking, no more dramatic emotional meltdowns. Just pure, calm control. In this video, I'll teach you how to train your mind to act as if nothing bothers you, so you stop feeling trapped by your emotions and start owning them. Because once you master this skill, nothing and no one will ever have power over you again. Mastering the nothing bothers me mindset. Life is noisy. Opinions, frustrations, curveballs flying at you left, right, and center. It's chaos with no pause button. But what if I told you, true strength lies in mastering the art of indifference? Picture this. You're walking through a storm, but you don't flinch. You don't lose your cool. That's the vibe. That's power. The secret. Detach your emotions from external drama. When you let outside events dictate how you feel, you're basically handing over the remote control of your life. But when you train your mind to stay calm no matter what, boom, you're in charge now. People respect those who keep their cool when everything's falling apart. They don't just survive the chaos, they command it. They don't need to shout to be heard. Their calm says it all. Think about the most influential people in history. They weren't the ones throwing tantrums at every insult. They had that calm power, like they knew a secret the rest of us didn't. Their strength wasn't in fighting back. It was in not needing to. That's the true flex. Control the mind, control reality, self-mastery. 101. Thought precedes action. What you think, you become. If you're always reacting emotionally to the world, you're just giving away your power piece by piece. But when you develop an unshakable mindset, the world starts moving around you. Imagine someone insults you. In public, normal reaction, anger, defense, maybe a fight. Your reaction, smile, walk away unbothered. You just stole their thunder. They were counting on your meltdown, and now they're standing there, confused and powerless. That's silent dominance. Cold, classy, legendary. Same with failure. Most people break down. You treat it like data. Analyze, learn, move on. No emotional drama, just evolution. How to build this superpower. Train your mind. Daily. Pause before reacting. Ask yourself, does this really affect my long-term vision? Is this worth my energy? Or am I giving away my power? Do this often enough and boom, you build an invisible shield. Trivial stuff starts bouncing off you like ping-pong balls on a tank. Also, visualize. See yourself as the calmest person in the room, unshaken, undisturbed, unstoppable. Reinforce that image again and again until it becomes your reality. Mindset. Activated. Control. Claimed. Drama. Denied. What you visualize repeatedly, you become. Let people wonder how you stay so calm. Let them ask, how does nothing shake this person? Because when you look unbothered, you become the one who controls the game. You're not just respected. You're mysterious, an enigma people admire, but can't quite figure out. And right there, in that mystery, lies your power. True power, silent, calm, unshakable. Power isn't about shouting the loudest or dominating others. It's about presence, a presence so grounded it never needs to prove itself. A presence that commands respect through silence, through an unshakable state of mind. Master that, and you master life. Think of the strongest people you know. They don't snap at every insult. They don't let emotions hijack their actions. They pause, they assess, they respond intentionally. Not because they don't feel, but because they've mastered their feelings. Emotional detachment, the real superpower. Let's be clear, detachment doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're in control. Imagine, you're in a heated argument, someone's trying to poke, prod, provoke. Do you react? Do you let their words set fire to your emotions? Or do you smile, unaffected, knowing their words have zero power? Unless you give it to them, that is emotional detachment. It's refusing to give away your peace. It's protecting your inner world like it's sacred, because it is. When you live like this, stress fades, clarity grows, and life's challenges, they stop feeling like battles and start feeling like puzzles. You become what you focus on. Thoughts shape reality. Where focus goes, energy flows. Let the world dictate your emotions and you become a puppet. Take back control of your mind and you become the architect of your fate. The power of bouncing back. Think of a man who lost everything. His business, gone. His investments, crumbled. His life, rock bottom. Most would break, but not him. He didn't mourn. He learned. He rebuilt. Better, stronger, smarter. Why? Because he knew. His mind was his greatest asset. And nothing, no loss, no setback could take that away. That's the power of detachment. When you stop identifying with failure, you rise above it. When emotions stop running the show, you stay the course, no matter what. Many people don't reach their goals, not because they're weak, but because they let fear, doubt, and frustration hijack the wheel. Those who master detachment, they see emotions as visitors, not rulers. They keep moving forward, unaffected by temporary storms. How to build the unbothered mindset. Step back in emotional situations. Next time someone insults you, pause. Feel it, but don't feed it. Ask yourself, will this matter in my life tomorrow, next month, ever? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. So why give it your energy? Have a strong purpose. When you know where you're headed, petty distractions lose their grip. Your focus becomes bulletproof. You realize your energy is too expensive to waste on nonsense. Final thought. The world belongs to those who master themselves. Control your mind, control your emotions, and there's nothing life can throw at you that you can't walk through untouched. The more emotional control you develop, the more unstoppable you become. While others panic, you stay calm. While they react, you respond. And that single difference gives you an edge very few ever gain. True strength isn't flexing muscles or raising your voice. It's about having an unshakable presence, one that commands respect without ever needing to ask for it. When you master emotional detachment, you don't just navigate life. You control it. Mindful indifference is a superpower. We're conditioned to care about everything, people's opinions, their validation, their judgments. Society teaches us that our worth comes from how much we invest in what others think. But here's the truth. Freedom begins when you realize most of it doesn't matter. Next time you're overthinking something, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, let it go. Most of what stresses us out, criticism, minor failures, awkward moments, becomes completely irrelevant with time. Yet we let them eat up our mental space, control our mood, and mess with our decisions. That's why mastering indifference is key. It's not about not caring. It's about caring selectively. It's the art of prioritization, realizing your energy is precious, and not everything deserves a piece of it. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every opinion deserves attention. When you stop reacting to every little thing, you reclaim control. You move from being emotionally reactive to strategically responsive. And that shift, it changes everything. The calm ones hold the power. Think about the people you truly admire. They're not the ones chasing approval or throwing fits when things go sideways. They're steady, unshaken, anchored in who they are. They don't fold under pressure. They don't flinch when criticized. Why? Because they know themselves, and people who know themselves can't be manipulated by others. And here's the irony. When you stop seeking validation, you start receiving more of it. People respect the ones who aren't desperate to be liked. In a world full of people trying to blend in, the one who stands strong in their self-worth, that's real power. When criticism hits, don't flinch. Let's say someone unfairly criticizes you, the average person. They jump to defend, over-explain, snap back. The grounded person, they stay calm. They know these are just words. They only have power if I let them. By not reacting, you keep the upper hand, not just in the situation, but within yourself. And that kind of self-respect, it earns more respect than any loud reaction ever could. Success requires focus, not drama. Those who succeed at the highest level don't waste time on petty things. They're too focused, too clear, too locked in. They know every moment spent. Worrying about irrelevant drama is a moment stolen from their purpose. How to cultivate this superpower? Start by evaluating your reactions. The next time you feel anger, anxiety, or frustration over something small, pause. Ask, is this worth my energy? Most of the time, it's not. Train yourself to let go. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not everything requires your emotional investment. Set clear priorities. Know what matters, your peace, your growth, your purpose. When your foundation is strong, when you know your worth, other people's opinions start losing their grip. You don't become cold. You become selective. You don't stop caring. You just start caring about the right things. This is the truth most never realize. True power isn't in being liked. It's in knowing you don't need to be. In being unmoved by rejection, it is found in the ability to walk away from what drains you, to rise above petty conflicts, and to remain focused in a world full of distraction. In the end, it is not about caring less. It is about caring wisely. It is about choosing where to direct your energy and refusing to waste it on what does not deserve your attention. Because when you master the art of indifference, you don't just survive, you thrive. And in a world where everyone is overly concerned with pleasing others, the one who stands firm in their own self-worth will always rise above the rest or stop seeking approval. Seeking approval is a trap. It places your happiness in the hands of others, making you dependent on their validation. The reality: no one's opinion of you should outweigh your own. The moment you give someone else the power to define your worth, you lose control over your own life. True confidence isn't given. It's built through self-reliance, through knowing that you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. Think about the most magnetic individuals you've ever encountered. They don't beg for approval. They don't shrink themselves to fit in. They own who they are, flaws and awe, and that's what makes them powerful. They lies in their unwavering sense of self. While others chase validation, they walk their own path unapologetically and with purpose. The need for approval is rooted in fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of standing alone. But here's the truth. The more you seek approval, the more you surrender your power. You become a prisoner of expectations, bending and twisting yourself to fit into molds designed by others. And in doing so, you betray yourself. Freedom comes when you release the need to be liked by everyone. It's an illusion to think that universal approval is even possible. No matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. Some will admire you, others will criticize you, and many won't care it. Also, why waste your energy trying to please everyone? Consider the people who change the world. Leaders, innovators, creators. They are not concerned with fitting in. They are driven by vision, by purpose, by the fire. Within them they face criticism, yet they remain unfazed. Their confidence is built on something far stronger than public opinion. It is built on self-belief, and that is what makes them unstoppable. If you want to break free from the approval trap, start by asking yourself whose opinion truly matters more often than not. The loudest voices are from those who do not walk your path, who do not understand your journey. Their words carry no real weight unless you allow them to. Another crucial step is learning to validate yourself. Acknowledge your own progress. Celebrate your wins, big or small. When you start recognizing your own worth, external approval becomes irrelevant. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You simply know you are detaching from validation. Does not mean becoming arrogant or dismissive. It means standing firm in who you are. It means respecting your own decisions, your own journey, and refusing to let others dictate your path. It means understanding that your value is not something to be negotiated or debated. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you start living freely. You no longer filter your words, your actions, or your dreams through the lens of others' expectations. You move through life with authenticity, with boldness, with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken. Not everyone will understand you, not everyone will support you, and that's okay. The ones who matter will respect you, not because you seek their approval, but because you don't need it. So, choose yourself. Stand firm in your beliefs, in your values, in your vision. Let go of the need for external validation and embrace the power of self-acceptance, because once you do, you become untouchable. Not because you have everyone's approval, but because you no longer require it. 5. Handle criticism. Criticism is inevitable, but how you handle it defines your strength. Most people crumble at the first sign of disapproval. They take every comment to heart, allowing it to shape their self-identity, dictate their actions, and weaken their resolve. But why? Criticism is nothing more than words, opinions, and perspectives that often come from those who don't even understand your journey. The reality is that criticism only has as much power as you give it. When you react emotionally, you let it control you. When you filter it through logic, you remain in control. The strongest individuals don't let criticism shake them. They assess it with a clear mind, take what's useful and discard the rest. No unnecessary emotion, no overreaction. Just select attention to what truly matters. The key lesson: filter criticism through logic, not emotion. Keep what serves you, ignore what doesn't, and never let someone's opinion disrupt your peace. There are two types of criticism: constructive and destructive. Constructive criticism is valuable. It helps you improve. It comes from people who have experience, knowledge, and a genuine desire to see you grow. This is the type of feedback you should welcome. Destructive criticism, however, is designed to break you down. It often stems from jealousy, insecurity, or lack of understanding. These opinions are meaningless unless you make the mistake of internalizing them. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece. As he chisels away, people stop to watch. Some admire his work, some offer helpful suggestions, and others mock his efforts. Does the sculptor abandon his vision because of a few negative voices? No, he continues, guided by his inner vision, filtering out the noise. This is how you must approach criticism. When someone criticizes, you ask yourself, does this person have the experience or credibility to judge me? If they do, consider their words. If they don't, move on. Not all voices deserve your attention. Most criticism comes from people who have never done what you are doing. Their words are reflections of their own limitations, not yours. Criticism is a test of emotional resilience. Weak-minded individuals react impulsively. They get defensive, argue, or retreat into self-doubt. The strong remain unmoved. They acknowledge criticism, process it, but never let it disrupt their inner peace. When you respond to criticism with calm indifference, you show the world that your confidence is unshakable. Consider the great minds of history, visionaries, creators, and leaders. Every one of them faced relentless criticism. Their ideas were doubted, their decisions questioned, yet they pressed forward, refusing to let outside noise deter them. Their ability to stand firm in the face of doubt is what set them apart. They understood that criticism is often the price of progress. If you want to develop this mindset, practice detachment. The next time someone criticizes you, pause, don't react immediately. Instead, analyze. Is there value in their words? If yes, learn from it. If not, dismiss it. When you master this habit, you free yourself from the emotional burden of seeking approval. Another powerful approach is self-conveyance. When you truly believe in your past, external opinions lose their grip on you. Confidence comes from within, not from the approval or disapproval of others. The moment you realize this, you become immune to shallow criticism. The validation is optional. Self-acceptance is power. The moment you stop chasing validation and embrace self-acceptance, you become untouchable. Not because everyone approves of you, but because you no longer need them to. That's the kind of a power no one can take away. Handle criticism. Like a master, criticism is inevitable. But how you respond, that's where real strength shows. Most people fall apart the moment they face disapproval. They take every comment personally, let it shape their identity, shake their confidence, and alter their direction. But ask yourself, why? Criticism is just words, opinions, perspectives, often from people who have zero understanding of your journey. It only has power if you hand it over. When you react emotionally, you surrender control. When you filter criticism through logic, you stay in control. The strongest individuals don't let opinions sway them. They evaluate feedback with a clear head. Take what helps, toss what doesn't. No drama, no emotional chaos. Just clarity. The rule: filter criticism through logic, not emotion. Keep what helps, ignore what doesn't. Never let someone else's opinion mess with your peace. There are two kinds of criticism: Constructive criticism comes from people who've been there, aims to help you grow, comes with insight, not ego this kind. Welcome it. It's fuel for improvement. Destructive criticism comes from insecurity, jealousy, or ignorance, meant to discourage, not help. Zero value, unless you choose to give it value. This kind, ignore it like spam mail. Ain't worth your energy. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece. People gather around. Some admire, some offer tips, some mock him. Does he stop? Nope. He keeps sculpting, eyes on the vision, tuning out the noise. That's exactly how you need to handle criticism. The inner filter. Whenever someone criticizes you, ask, does this person have the experience or credibility to judge me? If yes, cool, listen, learn, level up. If no, move on. Not every voice deserves your ears. Truth is, most criticism comes from people who've never done what you're doing. Their words reflect their limits, not yours. Emotional resilience. 101. Weak minds react emotionally. Defensive. Over-explaining. Running into doubt. Strong minds, they remain still. They evaluate, process, and never let it disturb their peace. When you respond with calm indifference, you signal something powerful. I'm not shaken. I know who I am. Criticism is the price of progress. Think about every great visionary, leader, or creator. They were all doubted, mocked, criticized, rejected, but what did they do? They moved forward anyway, unbothered, because they knew criticism was simply part of the journey. They weren't fueled by approval. They were anchored by belief. How to build this mindset? Practice detachment. When criticized, don't react. Pause. Ask, is there truth or value in this? If yes, use it. If not, lose it. Develop self-conviction. When you truly believe in your path, external opinions lose their grip. Confidence doesn't come from applause. It comes from self-alignment. And the moment you get that, shallow criticism bounces off you like a pebble on armor. The world will always talk. People will always have something to say. Some will praise you, others will doubt you, and some will just talk because, well, that's all they've got to offer. But here's the truth. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Real strength isn't about silencing the critics. It's about not needing their approval in the first place. Criticism is just noise. The world's full of voices, but not all of them deserve a front row seat in your mind. The strongest people, they don't fear criticism. They filter it for a value, and they either use it wisely or ignore it completely. Next time someone criticizes you, remember, it's just noise. If there's something to learn, cool. If not, keep it moving. Never let it define you. Keep your composure. Under pressure, pressure reveals people. Some break, some fold. But the elite, they stay calm, unmoved, strategic. Why? Because they've already trained their mind before the storm hit. They don't pray for an easy life. They prepare for a hard one. Pressure isn't a surprise, it's a guarantee. Most people crack under pressure because they resist reality. They want life to be smooth, predictable, easy. So when life doesn't play nice, they panic, they freeze, they spiral. But the wise, they expect resistance. They embrace uncertainty. Like a seasoned warrior, he doesn't walk into battle expecting peace. He walks in ready for hell and moves like he's already survived it. Reaction versus response. When the heat turns up, most react with emotion, but the strong respond with logic. You don't flinch. You don't shout. You calculate, adjust, execute. You don't control the storm, but you master yourself inside it. That's the real flex. That's unshakable power. Flip the script on pressure. Stop seeing pressure as a threat. Start seeing it as a test, a game of composure. Can I keep my cool while others lose theirs? Can I move with precision while others panic? That's your challenge. And every time you pass it, you build a version of yourself that's 10x more resilient than before. Train. Like it's war. Want to stay composed under pressure? Then train for it. Every day. Rehearse tough scenarios mentally. Expect things to go sideways. Visualize your calm response. When real chaos shows up, you won't panic, because your mind's already been there. Emotions cloud judgment. Detach. The elite don't suppress emotions. They just don't let emotions lead the way. They observe them, acknowledge them, then act with clarity, not confusion. I feel stress. Cool. Now let me decide what to do with it. That's emotional mastery. That's control. The calm ones. Stand out, look at the greats. Leaders, visionaries, operators under fire. What do they have in common? They don't flinch when everything goes wrong. They lead with calmness, certainty, and composure. In a world where people lose their minds at the slightest pressure, the calm one becomes magnetic. Respected, trusted, the calm one leads. Let's sum it up. Pressure is coming. Expect it. Don't try to control everything. Control yourself. Stay composed, not by luck but by preparation. Flip stress into strategy. Respond. Never react and suddenly, while everyone else is crumbling. You're standing still, unshaken, built different. 7. Let go of what you can't. Control. Most suffering doesn't come from the world. It comes from within, from clinging, from attachment, to outcomes, to people, to the illusion of control. We grip tight to what should happen. We fixate on how life should unfold. And when it doesn't, we spiral, we suffer. But real power, it's in letting go. Picture a river, it flows freely. It doesn't resist the rocks in its path. It doesn't demand the landscape change. It adapts, it keeps moving. That's the mindset of the strong. Control what's yours. Release what isn't. If it's not mine to control, it's not mine to stress over. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the setback you didn't see coming, you have two choices: fight reality and suffer. Flow with it and rise stronger. The choice is always yours. Letting go is not giving up. This isn't about apathy. It's not whatever happens, happens. It's about clarity. Focus on what you can control. Release what you can't. That's not weakness. That's discipline. That's power. Attachment makes you fragile when your happiness is chained to specific outcomes. You're fine when things go right, but you break when they don't. This is a weak way to live. The elite, they stay grounded. They set goals. Yes, they care deeply, but they are not owned by the outcome. If it works, great. If it doesn't, adapt and move. Ask yourself one simple question: is this within my control? If yes, act. If no, let it go. Simple, ruthless, freeing. Don't spend your power trying to change things that don't answer to you. Use that energy to build, move, evolve. Detachment, indifference. Some will confuse the two. Let them. Indifference is apathy and a refusal to engage. Detachment is wisdom, full engagement without emotional dependency. You can care. You can give everything. But you don't collapse when life doesn't go your way. That's not weakness. That's mastery. Start small, build the habit. Train like this. The long line at the store? Let it go. Someone cuts you off? Let it go. A plan changes? Flow with it. These moments are reps. Every time you let go, you get lighter. Every time you release, you gain control. Over time, this mindset scales to career, to relationships, to life. Letting go is liberation. You're not detaching from life. You're detaching from illusions. The illusion of control. The lie that peace comes from perfect outcomes. Real peace. It's knowing you've done your part and trusting yourself with the rest. When you stop fighting what isn't yours to change, you unlock energy, clarity, and freedom. Final word on detachment. It's not weakness. It's precision. It's not apathy. It's awareness. It's not giving up. It's redirecting power, and when you live this way, you don't just survive chaos. You move through it like water, calm, strong, undeniable. Silence is the ultimate power. Move in a world drowning in noise. Silence cuts like a blade. Most people talk to fill space, seek validation, prove themselves, but the most powerful people, they don't need to prove anything. They listen, observe, calculate. And when they finally speak, every word lands like a strike. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to overthink, second-guess, fill the void with their own insecurities. Words reveal. Silence conceals. That's where your leverage lives. In conversation, less, more. He who speaks least controls the room. When you say little, you stay unpredictable, remain emotionally neutral. Force others to reveal everything while they talk. To expose you, they end up exposing themselves. Master the strategic pause. Imagine a negotiation. They present their offer. They wait for your reply. You say nothing. Seconds pass. The silence stretches. They squirm. They speak again. Better terms, more concessions. Why? Because silence builds tension, and tension gives you power. Use silence as a shield. The next time someone insults you, don't respond. No defense, no anger, just presence. They expect a reaction. They crave your emotion. When you give them nothing, you take everything. They're left exposed, talking to themselves, struggling to regain control. Silence sharpens your vision. When you stop talking, you start noticing. The hesitation in their voice, the flicker of insecurity, the shift in energy. You catch the details others miss because they're too busy trying to be heard. But you're watching, you're learning, you're building leverage. Power doesn't need volume. The most commanding people in the world aren't the loudest. They're the most intentional. They speak with precision. They choose their words. And when they do speak, people listen, not because of how much they say, but because of how much they hold back. Train yourself to embrace silence. Start here. In conversation, pause before speaking. In conflict, delay your response. When emotional, say nothing, feel everything, do nothing rash. Silence under pressure is self-mastery. Final word on silence. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. It's not avoidance, it's control. It's not emptiness, it's presence. The undisciplined speak to be heard. The powerful stay quiet to stay in charge, so speak less, watch more. Say only what moves the needle, and in a world full of noise, you'll be the one who can't be ignored. Mastering the art of moving in silence. Real power doesn't announce itself. It moves in silence. It acts with precision and lets the results speak, loud enough for everyone. The loudest in the room, often the weakest. They crave attention. They seek validation. They over-explain, overshare, overcompensate. The strongest, they say nothing. They build in silence. And by the time the world notices, it's already done. The less you say, the more you control, want respect. Stop announcing your plans. Stop explaining your every move. Just do the work. Success isn't a promise, it's proof. And proof doesn't need a speech. The more you talk, the more you invite resistance. The more doubt you create, the more leverage. You lose, but in silence, you move freely. No distractions, no interference. No noise. Let your success do the talking. The strongest individuals don't argue, justify, try to impress. They execute quietly, ruthlessly, relentlessly. They don't chase applause. They chase mastery. And when the moment comes, they let the results speak. Privacy is leverage. There's a reason real power stays quiet. When no one knows your next move, they can't block it. They can't stop it. They can't sabotage it. Silence is not passive. It's strategic. It creates mystery, and in mystery there is power. While others overshare, you underexpose. While they seek attention, you secure results. Discipline. Over validation, you don't need to prove anything. You're not here to impress. You're here to win. So the next time you feel the urge to explain your plans, show off your progress, defend your ambitions, resist it, move in silence, let them wonder, let them guess, let them talk. You're not here to be understood. You're here to dominate quietly. Final word on silence. In a world desperate to be seen, be the one who doesn't need the spotlight, because while they chase noise, you build power, and when it's all said and done, they'll ask how you did it, how you stayed so composed, so focused, so unbothered, and you'll know the answer. You trained for this. You built this. And nothing, no noise, no opinion, no obstacle can take it from you.